Welcome to the Comics Experiment, the show that is live every Thursday at twitch.tv/Comicstorian at about 2 p.m. Eastern. It's then uploaded to our Patreon, patreon.com/Comicstorian. It's then uploaded to Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube on Saturday morning. What is the Comics Experiment, you're asking? Why are you telling me where it's located? Well, I'm just now learning after 3 years of podcasting how to do a podcast. And today, Comics Experiment is a show where we sit down and talk about anything related to comic books, video games, and movies that are superhero related, including looking at other people's lists, opinions, and discussions, and having a talk about topical things. Today, we're going to be discussing what would a DC versus Marvel show, or comic, or movie look like in this day and age. My name is Benny, that is Andy, that is Dan, and today's episode is brought to you by...
We actually have two sponsors today. Honey, where you can get honey for free at joinhoney.com/RNBE, and Bespoke Post, where you can get 20% off your first monthly box at boxofawesome.com and use the code COMICS.
Yes, you can. And don't forget about our regular sponsor, G Fuel, where you can get the energy that I have at all times. Because trust me, I don't have one down here right now.
Okay, I was checking.
They send us a box of cans, and I forgot them in the fridge. So anyway, guys, yes, Comics Experiment, the show that we do every week. You guys seem to enjoy it. And if you don't, well, thank you for watching because it keeps the show on the air. If you want to keep the show on the air, don't forget to check out the sponsors. Go check us out on Patreon or Twitch. And that's pretty much it. So we're going to talk about DC versus Marvel. Andy, give us a history on DC versus Marvel.
Yes, everything.
Totally let him prepare for that.
If you miss anything without a very specific date.
Let's see. Oh, you want specific dates?
Yes.
Would you like the laptop for that one?
No, I'm not doing that at all.
It's like, I got this.
They've crossed over before. They did the Amalgam universe in the 90s when they fought.
That gave you
Well,
Dark Claw,
where
which
they
you loved.
fought.
No, they did actually fight.
Oh, I'm thinking.
And then you could vote to see who would win.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's why the
And
vote
then
was
they
very
did-
skewed.
I believe it was in 2004 they did JLA versus the Avengers.
That was more story-driven,
Yes.
wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that was more of a, and it wasn't even like versus. It was like a thing where
That
they
was
fought for like a panel.
the standard. There's a misunderstanding,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
they fight, and then they join up to fight an evil.
Boom, history did.
Is that your verb now?
Yep.
You're going to history me?
You just
No,
got
that's not right.
historude.
You got historude?
That's that. I just made up the word for you.
Anyway, the reason why
Historude.
we're bringing this up is recently, comic books have been talking about a DC versus Marvel crossover
Yes.
without talking about a DC versus Marvel crossover. They've done things like they mentioned the Green Giant and Thor fighting in the DC
It's
universe.
just the way you said it was
I know,
very strange. Yes.
They did the thing where who was the one that destroyed the DC universe in the Marvel side?
The Black Winter.
Black Winter destroyed
yeah.
the DC
Yeah,
universe on
Thor.
the Marvel side. I believe there was two other mentions recently that came up. And the reason why we're going to talk about this today is because I think it'll be a fun discussion to discuss what that would look like today. Also, I am so tired of all of you asking me when that's going to happen because I don't think it's going to happen. So let's start the topic at that.
What? It's not 100% confirmed?
But they haven't mentioned each other. It's all fun.
Ben says they
jabs.
mentioned it. 100% confirmed.
Oh my God.
Please add him.
Hashtag Comicstorian confirmed.
Do not ask me about that again. Fuck it. First off, they haven't actually mentioned each other. If DC was like a crossover with the Hulk and Thor, I would say that's them implying there might be something. If in the Thor comic they destroyed literally the Justice League, I would say that's them implying the comic. What they're doing is just having some fun jabs at each other, which I think started with Doomsday Clock and the Green Giant and Thor thing.
I think so, yeah.
And then it returned.
Well, I mean, there probably have been more little ones, but that's probably the earliest I can think of.
Yeah.
Where they talk about the crisis where he fights the
Right.
Hulk and Thor and things
I know
like that.
there are mini jokes whenever Mjolnir is referenced because it isn't a Marvel exclusive; it's a Norse mythology thing.
Right.
And whenever they do mention that, they do tend to poke a little fun at Marvel's Thor.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. But the problem is, so how did the original DC versus Marvel happen? Do you know? I believe it was just because,
Off the top of my head, no, I don't.
as
actually
far
know.
as I know,
Yeah.
it's just because of the time they were basically both independent companies for the most part.
Generally speaking,
I mean, even
they
to
weren't
the-
really owned by anybody at that point. Marvel had, I think, started selling off some of their movie properties to like Sony and Fox and things like that, but nobody was owned.
No, well, when did WB buy the?
That was a while ago.
yeah.
Yeah,
But WB's never really had much. They don't.
2009.
Okay. 2009?
The Walt Disney Company.
No, that was
no.
DC's longtime competitor. Marvel was bought by Walt Disney. If Walt Disney
Oh,
owned DC and Marvel,
Then we would get that movie right away.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I
We could
misread
have
that.
Henry Cavill versus Liam Hemsworth.
Hold on, who?
Henry
You say
Cavill.
Liam Hemsworth?
I did. Chris Hemsworth.
Okay, I was like,
threw me off
one of
wait
the
a second.
in my head, I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
was
yeah.
he Thor's brother or something? Like,
Yeah. He's Thor's brother shows up.
The purchase of WB isn't even listed. It was so long ago, apparently.
I just misread it.
I'm just looking to see when it happened. But either way, WB has notoriously not been that involved until recently.
Not in the comics.
No.
Yeah,
until
yeah,
they revealed Batman's penis, and WB
Well,
decided
sure,
to get
yeah.
very
The
involved.
Batwing.
The Batwing.
Bet dong.
So what I'm getting at, though, is when they were both more operating fully independently, Time
Right
Warner,
before they all went bankrupt.
yeah, Warner Communications subsidiary. So they were bought in 1967.
Yeah, I was gonna say
So
it's
that's
been
been
a
a-
long
yeah.
time. Yeah.
The Kinney National Company, Warner Communications subsidiary, bought them in 1967. In 1999, they combined with Time Warner, AOL, and Warner Media Unit, and now they've just been WB since then, basically. So, but yeah, no. So back then it was a lot easier to work it out because it was literally DC would call Marvel and say, "Hey, this would be fun. Can we make it work?" Or Marvel would call DC.
I would say they did a lot of crossovers where it's just like Batman met Captain America
Yeah.
or Superman met Spider-Man, that sort of thing. So.
There were more single.
Yeah, exactly. It was
things.
like one-off things.
Didn't Batman fight Spider-Man or something like that? And then it was Venom involved.
Well,
I
they
think?
always have like the fight.
Yeah.
There's always a fight.
Yeah.
Batman versus Punisher was a fight.
Well,
Two
yeah.
different Batman both fought Punisher.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, wasn't one of them Nightfall Batman? Azrael fought
exactly.
against
Yeah,
him? Yeah, that's what I thought. Can you imagine that? All right, so our Batman lost to Punisher last time, so let's give him the one with the guns and the flamethrower.
It's gonna be sweet.
So traditionally, yes, DC has fought against Marvel. I am in the current wheelhouse that ever since Disney got involved, Disney, for those of you guys who don't know, and I don't know how you don't know this, Disney is like stupidly protective of every one of their properties.
What?
That's a good switch.
No, they are. To the point where actually, I haven't looked too much into it, but I've seen the headlines. Apparently, since Fallen, what was the Jedi game that just came out?
Fallen Order.
Fallen, because I always want to call it Jedi Outcast, and that's not it. It's
That's
Fallen
not
Order.
it. That's
It's
an older
definitely
game.
not
Yeah.
that one.
Oh, I know. It's an old game. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fallen Order. Apparently, Disney now wants to go in and start retconning it into proper canon.
Well, it is technically in proper canon.
Right, but
Yeah.
apparently Disney ignored it, expecting it to be bad, and they weren't gonna. They were just gonna ignore it. But since it's
That does
doing
make
so
sense,
well,
yeah.
now they want to be more involved.
Yeah.
I don't know why they thought it would do poorly.
A single-player Star Wars game that fans have been clamoring for years.
Exactly.
I don't know.
It's
I don't
just
know.
gonna bomb.
But what I'm saying is Disney does get involved in a lot of projects, and because of that, Marvel has completely changed up its everything since 2009. Like they tried to leave Marvel Comics kind of on its own. That didn't work. Now we've got more people that are Disney controlled, kind of getting involved
Right.
to the point where even Kevin Feige, I don't know if it actually went through, but there was talks of him having some say in the comics now. A while ago, he was going to have a hand in the comic books to an extent.
Right, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not really up for that. I don't like when people from other platforms go onto a different platform.
Sure. Yeah.
because
Try to run things.
it's very different entertainment
Yeah.
from TV versus comics.
Yeah.
Or if they did it on like the ones where it's like this is the directly related to the movie or to the
Right,
show.
yeah,
That's a
yeah.
different story.
the
but-
MCU universe. Comics,
Exactly.
yeah.
Kind of like if they did a Gamerverse style thing, but
Yeah.
for the MCU.
Right. Pector the Inspector actually has an interesting quote that I did not know about. In our Twitch chat, you can watch this live at twitch.tv/Comicstorian every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Pector the Inspector says, Quesada went on record in 2004 at a con, back when he was editor-in-chief, stating that he hates DC and he has axed every chance at a crossover since JLA and Avengers.
I believe that.
Wow.
Yeah. I believe that. Yeah.
But what I'm getting at, and also for our Twitch chat, they're like, "Oh no, the Jedi Fallen Order was already in canon." No, it was. I, for the record, have not read those headlines. They could just be straight up clickbait, and
Right.
Disney isn't doing anything.
Yeah.
I've just been seeing that come up recently. That Disney now wants to get more involved because they made this game apparently without much insight. Oh, oversight. Oversight's the word I'm looking for.
Well, clearly you should not oversight the rest of your games because that was a fantastic game.
Yeah. Oh,
really
so you
good.
didn't get involved and it did well. Can we keep that going?
Be nice.
So, And Mopey is clarifying Feige is COO and has been since October 22nd, 2019. So CCO, Chief Creative Officer of Marvel Comics. Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Disney is involved with Marvel Comics. They didn't like what Marvel was doing when they bought them out in 2009. They only wanted the movies, and then they realized we also have this entire arm of comic books.
Yeah, right.
Right.
They'd probably do something with that.
And I think it's been around at least a couple years.
Something like that.
It was a young company.
Little known fact.
that Disney took under their wing.
Little known fact, X-Men came out with their movies in 2000, and then Marvel Comics started in 2002.
It's true. They were like, man, we should make comic books based on these characters. And then Stan Lee went, Excelsior! History.
And he just did it near the set too, and that was the first cameo.
And before anyone says in the comics, no, we know that's not true. I made that up on the spot. Anyway. What? I just know someone's going to go to the comments. Nobody? Marvel Comics?
In actuality, Marvel Comics was started in... I don't actually know the year off the top of my head. I really don't.
Oh, goodness.
So anyway.
Sorry. Yes.
What I'm saying is Disney allowing DC... Unless DC comes in and goes, you may beat up all of our characters in your comic, I don't see Disney allowing
I was going to
this.
say, well, at this point, too, much like in the 90s, like we were saying, they were more independent, the Marvel and DC. Like now they are owned and operated fully by very large conglomerate companies. It's highly unlikely that they would do something like that.
I mean, we work closely with DC. Marvel doesn't ever talk to us, but we have worked with them before. And I can tell you for a fact, when we get offers from DC and the offers we've gotten from Marvel, they don't come from Marvel Entertainment or DC Comics. They come from Time Warner WB, and they come from Disney.
Yeah.
And when we get paid to do stuff for them, which we have, and I've always expressed when we do that, such as movies and stuff like that, the check comes in from Disney and WB.
Yeah.
Which is really cool to look at in your bank statement. Disney paying you.
The mouse actually shows up with a check.
And he goes, you better keep working with me.
Is that your
You forgot those?
It's
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking.
you're thinking of Pillsbury
Mario.
Doughboy.
Or Pillsbury Doughboy.
And
Either one.
Tevi in our chat is actually accurate. AT&T now owns DC because they bought WB and Time Warner.
Yeah.
It's just becoming like bigger and bigger.
Soon you're going to get an actual bat phone.
I'm waiting for the Batman
That'd be
issue where he
pretty
takes
sweet.
out his AT&T phone.
Oh, yeah.
They'll come out and they'll be
movie.
like, this is the Bat Plan. It works underground. Ever find yourself in a cave and need to make a call? Here's the Bat Plan.
Were your parents murdered when you were a small child?
If you had an AT&T phone, you could have called for help.
Do you need to make a phone call from the cave beneath your stately manor? Then you should have an AT&T plan. Anyway, what were we talking about? Okay, so it would be highly unlikely to me that there were to be an actual crossover nowadays.
Now, I do want to clarify, if it does happen, this is
It'd be
us
cool.
speculating. Yeah.
I feel like if it were to happen, it would not be with the big characters. I feel like
Like
it
a
would
smaller thing,
I feel
yeah.
like it would be one of those ones where it'd be like the extended Justice League versus the extended Avengers, so that they can be like, hey, people are going to buy this because they know people will buy a DC versus Marvel,
Yeah.
but let's use Moon Knight versus Joe Green Lantern, the one that's out in Far Sector right now.
okay.
Like just random. I couldn't think of
You went
anyone
with the
else.
Far
off the top.
Sector Green Lantern?
Yeah, I went with just a random one that was
Green
not a big.
Lantern sounds like such a
This is Joe Green Lantern over here.
Bob Green Lantern back here.
We got Hal Jordan, we got Jon Stewart, we got Jessica Cruz,
got
and
Joe.
Green Lantern.
We've also got Simon Bass, but we don't talk.
Here's
about
the weird part: his middle name is actually Green, and his last name is actually Lantern.
But it's pronounced Lantern.
It's got an E after the end.
a little ampersand.
But I feel like that would be how they would do it. Let's hype up some lesser known characters, because it would be a better one of. This is a throwaway. We don't have to worry about any backlash, anything.
Well, I mean,
that people are gonna...
that was the fun thing about the one in the 90s, because they did the fan votes. So you could vote who would win in a fight. I think it was Superman and Hulk.
Yep.
Superman won that
Batman
one.
versus Captain America.
Batman won that one.
I think it was Shazam versus Thor. I want to say Thor won.
Yeah, I was gonna say pretty much wasn't it the Trinity one? and
think
like
so,
the Bat
yeah.
family, and then everything else was Marvel.
I
If I
believe
remember
so, yeah.
correctly.
It was very heavy on the Marvel
Wonder
side.
Woman versus Storm.
That's
if I
right,
remember
I'm gonna
right.
look it up real
Yeah.
fast, actually. And I'm really. And what ended up happening with that one was the Amalgam universe, which people
Which
to
was a
this
lot of fun.
day still ask for.
I
stuff
own
from.
all of the individual issues.
Do you?
I do.
I still think Darkclaw was the coolest.
It was.
Yeah.
And US
Wolverine and Batman.
Yeah.
Come on.
You can't go wrong with that.
Captain America
Would he be-
and
does he
Superman
still
and
kill?
Super Soldier was
Okay,
pretty
that's
sweet.
what I was
Yeah,
thinking
it
of. I was
pretty
thinking
sweet.
U.S. Soldier, but I'm like, no, that's an actual character. Super
Did
Soldier.
he still kill?
Yes, he did very much.
Wasn't
kill.
there Bruce Wayne, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Good.
There was Bruce Wayne, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. There was like
Oh
3
my
different
God.
versions of Batman in that.
I feel like Bruce
universe.
Wayne would be Nick Fury in that case.
Okay,
Pretty
so
much was,
the
yeah,
results
actually,
on
yeah.
the voted one was between 11 battles. Aquaman beat Namor. Elektra beat. Okay, so you give me a finger for DC and you give me a finger for Marvel.
Okay.
Yes, the
Aquaman won
the
against
Marvel
Namor.
guy is gonna track the DC, and the DC guy's gonna
like
track
it.
Marvel. Okay, okay.
Okay. Solid.
Aquaman beat Namor.
Oh wait. I'm Marvel. Damn it! I already messed it up. Go ahead.
Elektra beat Catwoman. The Flash beat Quicksilver. Robin beat Jubilee.
That makes sense.
The Silver Surfer beat Green Lantern.
I don't know
Really?
why I did
Green
it
Lantern
like
lost to
this.
Silver Surfer? I can see it. Green Lantern's got the cosmic power.
yeah.
Or the power of
Plus
cosmic.
a surfboard.
Plus,
Thor,
wasn't this back when his weakness was yellow?
I think it was, yeah. Because this
believe
is
so,
before
yeah.
like they expanded.
and I
on Green
believe
Lantern.
cosmic power could go yellow. And you're like, oh no.
Thor beat Captain Marvel. Superman beat Hulk. Spider-Man beat Superboy. Batman beat Captain America. Wolverine beat Lobo, and Storm beat Wonder Woman. Really? I would have sworn I could. Oh,
'cause-
this is the height of the X-Men, though.
Plus, Storm got Thor's hammer
Oh,
That
that's
and
true.
became the
yeah.
goddess of thunder.
Yeah, that was right. Because Wonder Woman turned it down of her. But that was the plot. Like the hammer came down, she turned it down. Storm picked it up.
I think so.
Yeah.
Something like that.
was
Either
something
way,
along
Storm electrocuted.
Yeah,
the
it says
crap
after
out of him.
Diana drops Thor's hammer in order to allow the fight to
Whoopsie.
happen as intended,
Oh.
Storm won the battle by repeatedly beating Diana with lightning after a brief melee encounter.
Oh, I guess I was wrong. She
So
didn't
nobody
use
used
it.
the hammer.
She just ultimately
So
went
Storm was
full
like,
Storm.
damn, that Amazon punches hard. Let me fly away. and zap. And
So
zap.
who had the most wins?
I lost
Marvel
count.
had 6.
I think 5.
Well, yeah,
I
but if
kind of
there's
stopped
11.
paying attention. Oh, there were 11. Okay, then yeah, we got 5.
Well, only by process of elimination because he counted 6.
I know. Well, I had 5, but then I put my hand down while we were talking about. I'm like, oh crap! How many fingers did I have before?
But then we went into the glory that was the Amalgam universe with Darkclaw, Super Soldier,
Yeah.
Spider Boy. That was a fun one.
I also counted wrong with my hands of my thumb first, which is not how you do it.
The JLX, the Justice League X, in case anyone was
Okay,
wondering.
so
4.
the full list of Amalgam characters.
I own literally all of these books.
Access was the only character created for the event.
Yeah, he was the
Yep.
one who knew that there was 2 universes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he accessed the 2 universes
Yes.
to pull them together.
And then he tried to separate them.
Yeah.
Super Soldier was Superman and Captain America. Darkclaw was Batman and Wolverine. Deadeye was
Try to guess.
Deadshot and Bullseye. They're not going to respond. You
They
know that.
might not. You don't know. Guess in the comments.
Dr. Doomsday was
I wonder this one. This was a toughie.
This is,
Doomsday and Dr. Doom.
Who came up with that idea? They were like, "Listen, we gotta mix Doctor Doom with somebody." Vandal Savage? Pfft, no, Doomsday.
I would have loved if it was Doctor Strange with Tuesday.
Well, that was Dr. Strange Fate. Dr. Fate
Oh,
and Dr.
that's
Strange.
right.
Yeah, somebody really strained their brain coming up with that name.
I
I feel like they gave it to a bunch of people, and it was like 2 groups, and one of them was like, "You just wanted us to put them together,
Like,
right?"
literally.
And the other one's like, "We got real creative."
Lethal, which was Cheetah and Craven.
I wonder which group got that name.
Night Creeper was Creeper and Nightcrawler.
See, this is like, there were 2 groups.
There was definitely 2 groups.
Skulk was Solomon Grundy and the Hulk. And then Spider-Boy, Superboy, and Spider-Man. 2 groups doing the
Oh
naming.
God.
One was literally merging. Just
All right, we've got Superboy and Spider-Man. Well, that's an easy one.
You know what's
Spider-Boy.
funny about a lot of these is Infinity Warps did almost the exact like
That's why I liked
equivalent.
That's why I liked Infinity
Yeah.
Warps.
Yeah.
Because it
They
was
were
essentially the Amalgam universe.
Yeah.
I could see that. So, okay.
Had to do the
Obviously, we all love the original Amalgam situation. We all love JLA versus Avengers. Wasn't as good,
Do you
but
want
it
to
was
know
cool.
what I also love?
What?
You know what I love.
I was getting to that.
I know, but I always steal the thunder from you.
Well, then do it. Do it, Dan. Use your power.
portals.
Honey is a browser extension that allows you to find the best prices in seconds while shopping on Amazon. Hate trying to decide between different highly rated vendors? Or are you feeling misled by low prices but high shipping costs? Honey searches and calculates all prices, including shipping, helping you save as much money as possible. We use it ourselves when buying things for the office or for the set to make sure that we get the best deal. One of the best things about the extension is how easy it is to use and how much easier it makes shopping for frugal people like us here at Comicstorian. Honey has over 100,000 5-star reviews on the Google Chrome store, so you know it's a good product. In fact, Time Magazine even said it's basically free money. So next time you go to shop on Amazon, be sure to use the Honey browser extension to find the best deal and add Honey today for free at joinhoney.com/RNBE. That's joinhoney.com/RNBE to download the extension and start saving money by getting the best deals today. You can't leave it open. Ads are just flying at our audience right now.
I love
the ad versus amalgamating with the.
I've started getting pretty good at knowing when he's about to do it, and I
Sure.
steal his thunder.
I like it. Solid.
I'll
That
let him.
become your
I'll
thing?
let him do the next portal, and we close the portal.
No, it's better when you do it because then we keep on track. All right. So anyway, obviously, so the mentions I can think of off the top of my head are the Doomsday Clock number 12,
Yes.
and then the Thor number 1.
Mention the reference again.
And okay.
It was not very
Clock,
impactful.
he's talking about the various, like, it's like every 10 years there's a new crisis or whatever, which is just generally how DC works. So he starts listing off crises. And one of them, he mentions how there's a crisis with an alternate universe, and like Superman has to fight an Emerald Giant.
Oh, so it's
and a
referring
God
the
of Thunder.
amalgamation, not a Marvel event.
No. It's like talking about in the future, and it says it was going to be in like 2030. Yeah.
Oh, because that is exactly the pairings.
Well, I know, but it's talking about it's going to be in the future.
It's saying that
a new crisis.
what it literally said it was Emerald Giant and Thor, the God of Thunder.
Yeah.
Okay, I
So
remember
everyone's
that
like
now.
Hulk and Thor, but they didn't specify.
So they're going to have an event where they fight.
So it is the exact same way that they did it in Thor, where they're like,
Oh, a universe with a God of the Sun.
exactly,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like an Emerald Policeman.
Yeah.
And then
I
they
don't
just
think
showed-
that's what they said.
I want them
but
to
I
do that
like
pause.
it.
An Emerald Police. ... Man.
Well, they went Emerald Police, and then they had to wait till they saw the face.
Sure, yeah.
Before they could say which.
Chat's telling me it was Thor 2, not Thor 1. But I mean, it was Thor and Doomsday Clock gave these references.
Yeah.
To which has led
Did
to
we number it? I thought we just said Thor.
I said 1.
Oh, you
I thought
did?
it was 1 because I'm not
The
fully
correct
tracking.
ban. He's wrong again. It is a fine thing.
But what I'm getting at is this is followed up with a ton of questions. And I'm not even joking. I get them on Discord, which you can join our community at discord.com/put a link down below and go click that. But you can also publicly search for us.
It's one word.
Put a link down below.
Click that.
Link down
It's Comicstorian. You can
below
publicly
and
search
click
the
that.
server now and join us. And you can chat with me directly. I answer in the evenings. But I've got a bunch of people asking when that event is going to happen, or if more things being referenced. Oh, is that the event with the DC versus Marvel? To which I think the most recent one I got was
It'd be funny if that was the event. It was literally a panel in Thor. That was the event, everyone. It's a blink and you missed it kind of event.
the most recent question I got
So like
was
how they brought back Wolverine and
Pretty much.
Infinity Wars.
the most recent question I got was the end of Justice League 40. And they were like, oh, is that leading into the DC versus Marvel event? And I've also been getting Twitter mentions asking about it. So I don't think it's going to happen. But if it were, that's what we're going to talk about in this segment of the show. If the comics were to merge, and go ahead and start thinking about your movie universe mergings, because that's going to be great later.
I would like them to merge in the deceased universe.
Oh my God. That would be epic.
They merge and then immediately all become zombies. You don't
Like
have to worry
some of
about
them's-
characterizations. You don't have to worry about who's fighting who. They're literally all dead.
And they
Easiest thing
have
ever.
to kill them because
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
no saving them.
Yeah,
So
like
like two portals open, DC walks in, like the
It would
Prime
be a
universe
classic.
walks in.
It would be a classic. They fight each other, but then half their team gets turned into zombies, so they have to work together to completely annihilate the other half of their team.
I have a better idea. I had to say it at least once.
And then the survivors
Marvel
have to work
Zombies
together.
fights against the deceased zombies. Just the zombies fighting.
Just the zombies.
I feel like they would work together.
The zombies would?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they?
Well, it's two different diseases. One's the anti-life
I feel like that
equation,
would
one's
be-
actually zombies.
That one's just a really weird love story. completely unexpected. They're like, what? Marvel Zombies versus Deceased? And then they looked into each other's eyes, and the anti-life equation started sparking.
One of them's like, "You like brains? I like brains."
Do you want to share this one? He's a pretty smart guy.
What if they did it in a unique way, similar to your idea?
Okay.
The Avengers fight the deceased zombies, so they can clearly beat them all, or mostly, and then the Justice League fights the Marvel zombies.
So the allowing of a full domination without actually dominating the other people.
Yeah. What do you think of that idea?
That wouldn't be bad. That one would be a good one because, let's be honest, we want to see them actually go all out. Because that was the worst part about the Superman
they
versus
wouldn't be able to
Hulk.
go all out if they're all zombies. I mean, that'd be kind of lame. Like, because the zombies can't fight back; they don't have superpowers.
Deceased, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
Deceased
That's a
do.
good point.
It's literally just evil.
But the
They're
Marvel,
really
but
bad.
the Marvel zombies don't.
Yeah,
They're-
they do.
They do.
I thought they didn't have their powers. That was
Some of
that
them
was
do.
the issue.
No,
Yeah,
some of
yeah.
them do. Like the healing
I mean,
factor maintains.
Yeah, because Hulk was weaker.
Hulk was weaker.
Yeah, Spider-Man didn't have all his powers.
No, Spider-Man did, but he couldn't make the webbing. So I think at the time he was organic when they started it.
Oh, okay.
So he was using the veins, which is why it was weird. And then they got the power cosmic anyway. So I mean,
That is
Vein whip.
true, yeah.
Vein whip.
you think he was saying that as he was going
Oh,
to do it?
totally. Let's be honest. Of all people, Spider-Man would definitely go, vein whip, vein whip,
Wang whip. What?
and then he would go, vein whip, vein thwip.
So, okay. All right.
The thwipping and the whipping.
Your idea is cool. I like the idea of the zombies.
Or the Injustice universe. That would be another good one.
I feel like that'd probably be I mean, it'd have to be an alternate reality.
Right.
I feel an alternate reality. That way you can always make the argument of like, well, if Superman beat whoever, you'd be like, well, yeah, but it wasn't a canon universe,
Ooh.
so it's fine.
Okay. Okay, ready for this?
All
With
right.
the alternate universe thing, we've got the Crime Syndicate Justice League versus Cancerverse Revengers.
I like it.
I haven't heard the Revengers in forever.
I know. It was
Solid.
in
Yeah, yeah.
Scourge Annihilation. That's
yeah.
the only reason I thought of it.
That'd be pretty.
That would be fun. That
Yeah.
would be fun. But if they do a crossover, even though I would like to see Superman versus the Hulk, I also want to see Superman versus the Sentry.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a
He's been coming
more-
back recently, hasn't he?
He has. He
Yeah.
was one of the big players in Annihilation Scourge.
That's right. I got halfway through that and stopped reading it. I got to play catch up. January fell off so many comic books. Okay, Andy, what do you got? You can't use zombies now because that's
Yeah.
been taken.
I wouldn't go zombies. I mean, honestly, I would probably end up doing something similar to the Amalgam, where they all accidentally end up in the other universe. You like just mix them together, like, oh, somebody dropped into here, somebody dropped into there, and they're trying to figure out why, that sort of thing. I think that would be the most fun, because then you could have them fight as superheroes always fight, which is to test each other's powers, or, oh, we have a misunderstanding, let me punch you in the face several times.
Which, by the way, read Deadpool versus Black Panther for the best description of a
like, you can have
superhero
that,
team
but
up.
then you can have them all start working together,
Right.
which I think was some of the best scenes in
Right.
Amalgam, like when Jubilee and Robin
I was
became
gonna
like
say,
best
that's my
buddies.
favorite scene. They're just sitting on a bed.
Yeah,
like,
they're just
I
like
don't wanna
talking.
fight.
Yeah,
Right.
like yeah. So I
Didn't
feel like
Robin just like knock her out? Like, we got to do
But
this.
he felt bad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, sorry. And then they like missed each other at the very end.
Yeah. Because they made such a good friend.
I think he took like her sunglasses or something. Like they like traded some like mementos.
Yeah.
something like that. So I think that could be a lot of fun. Yeah. That's how I would do it.
okay.
And then straight up mix them again, because that would be awesome. Because now you can mix them with whole new characters that weren't
Yeah.
around in the 90s.
I like it.
That's true, because I mean, in this day and age, Marvel, who they bring to the table would be totally different.
Exactly. So I honestly think just an update to the Amalgam thing would be awesome.
Because DC, for the most part, the roster has kind of been consistent.
Mostly
we
the
got
same.
some slight changes.
The 90s was slightly different because they had like Kyle Rayner and stuff like that.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Kyle
Yeah.
Rayner fought.
Yeah,
That was it.
Wally West. Who else?
But I mean, it's still the same superheroes. Because they do
Yeah,
more
roughly.
legacy style.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
Marvel's like, here's the new hero that you need to care about. It's going to be in every book.
Oh, I didn't like that one. Okay, hold on. How about this one? all right, hold on. And Captain America's back.
Pretty much Marvel. Captain America has retired the shield. Let's try 3 different heroes. You don't like any of them?
All right. Steve Rogers. But he's older.
Yeah. Okay.
I
can
could
see
pretty
that.
much be Marvel's.
But this is Marvel. You're like
Commercial guy.
They'd be like, and here's Steve Rogers. But wait, we still kept the Winter Soldier.
I like it.
He has a different shaped shield.
All right, here's another crossover. Exact polar opposite of my previous ones.
Okay.
Scotty Young writes a Baby Avengers versus JLA.
That would be awesome.
That would be the greatest thing ever.
It's essentially Muppet Babies at that point.
Pretty much.
But they're all like the superheroes have to come together at a daycare.
So we're literally doing Muppet
It
Babies.
literally is
Yes.
Muppet Babies. It's just all of the superheroes at a daycare as babies, obviously, with all their powers and everything. And then at the very end, you find out it was all make-believe. And all the kids had different characters they loved.
Yeah.
Boom!
That would be a great way to do it.
And just go ahead and stop the recording right now, Gary. I mean,
We're just done for the day?
we did it.
Yeah, okay. Just go ahead and kill all the stuff.
yeah.
Oh no, I need another portal before we do
Hashtag
that.
Scotty Young cut.
And my idea, what actually Chad kind of did a little bit of it, but I would take the more darker versions, and I've been trying to think of what the dark version of the Marvel Universe basically has been, because we have Injustice, and that's where pretty much everyone...
The only one I could think of was the
the
Cancerverse.
Avengers? Yeah. I mean, they've got like so many multiverses.
They
exist.
do, and yet I
I
still
don't wanna hear
can't
it. Have
think
you
of one.
seen DC's multiverses? And then we got dark versions of them.
I know, but that's only 52 or 104.
That's true.
Whereas we've got at least 616.
I do like how DC's always like, we only have 52 multiverses, but we want to add this new one in, so it's the new 40.
Yeah.
You know? That's just how they do it. Like,
Also, there's like a lower multiverse. It's like the cast off of other multiverses.
but the Summer Chad did give me the best one. It's not technically a different multiverse, but we could easily make it one. The Secret Empire version. Because there's all your evil versions.
So it'd be like Superman versus Nazi Captain America. Gee, I wonder who should win. Definitely Nazi Captain America.
Nazi guy.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
Hydra's not Nazis.
I'm sorry, definitely fascist Captain America.
He would definitely win. Because, the audience wouldn't hate that at
I know,
all.
right? Yeah, it would definitely be the fascists are going to win.
Okay, fine. I'll make it even more
I was
interesting.
going to say that wouldn't work at all.
Red Sun versus Secret Empire.
Okay, so fascist versus fascist.
okay,
All right,
that's a
then we
little
just
better.
pick your favorite fascist and we'll call it good.
Can we just throw Jojo Rabbit in there just to confuse
sure, why not?
everyone?
Fascist Captain America's imaginary friend is Hitler.
And fascist Superman's is the kid Jojo.
Yeah. That makes
I
sense.
thought Jimmy Olsen was going to be imaginary.
Oh, yeah, I like that idea too.
What if that was the case? Jimmy Olsen
He's
has
just
never
been imaginary.
existed,
Yeah.
but no one wanted to question Superman.
That would explain
That'd be an incredible story.
Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen.
yeah.
That would explain
And
those
why
comics.
he always gets weird powers
Yeah,
for
yeah,
some
that actually
weird
would make
reason.
sense.
Chat's got a good one.
So your idea is fascist versus fascist? That's what you want to go with?
I want to go with that. Because at that point, no one will argue who loses.
That is a good point, I guess.
It's like, and then
No,
they
no.
both punched each other and both died.
and whoever wins, the Earth loses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, they kind of did something similar in the Ultimate Universe, where they had the Ultimate Universe versus the Supreme Universe.
Yeah, they did.
Which was the Supreme was just Marvel's versions of all DC characters.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, how about...
Oh, okay. Marvel's version of all the DC characters versus DC's version of all the Marvel characters.
Genius.
Wait. Okay,
So if you want Superman to win but want Marvel to win at the same time,
You got to
could.
vote for Hyperion.
Well, there was that whole planet they fought against. They basically fought the Justice League and Secret Avengers during Hickman's run. They had a full Avengers roster.
Yeah, that was
a Justice League
That
roster.
was
they
the
fought.
Squadron Supreme.
No, not the Squadron Supreme one. So one of
No,
the planets.
if he's you're talking about the most recent Avengers run, where at the very beginning, Agent Coulson literally creates the.
No, there's an
new
alternate
Squadron
reality where
Supreme.
the Squadron Supreme are on. It was Marvel's way of doing
Oh, okay, because
DC stories without DC.
I know
I can't figure out. So the one that they so in the Hickman run, Hickman wanted to have the Avengers had to lose at some point. They kept beating every planet, remember?
Yes.
And they had to lose. And what they lost to was he created the Justice League basically, and it wasn't Sentry and all of them. It wasn't Squadron Supreme.
No, that's Hyperion.
Hyperion, but it wasn't Squadron Supremes. What I'm saying, because
Okay.
they had a speedster that I'd never seen before.
Okay.
And they had like an equivalent. And I don't know what they're called at this point. But yeah, no, they were losing, and that's when Doctor Strange sold his soul to seal up an entire planet and blow it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, even Marvel was like, yeah, Superman would kill everybody.
all right, Guardians of the Galaxy versus Justice League Odyssey.
That'd be awesome.
That actually be pretty fun.
Rocket versus Dexter.
Batman Beyond Future versus the 2099 Future.
That would be
20.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty
2099 would eliminate.
That one is from our chat.
cool.
Wind
Nah,
Pain.
Justice League Unlimited.
That's what it would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's more
It's
than
essentially
Batman.
just Superman. He's just older.
I don't know. As what we saw from the Venom The End, apparently Venom can create his
That is
own
true,
universes.
yeah.
And
So now
himself
I want to
and
move to two
becomes
other
everyone.
ideas. If we were to do the one-offs like Batman versus Punisher, where could we go with that? But before we can do that, Dan,
nice.
Dan.
I was going to say that I think we should open a portal.
Today's podcast is sponsored by Bespoke Post. This year, start a new routine and upgrade your everyday life with a monthly box of awesome from Bespoke Post. Bespoke Post sends guys only the best stuff every month. Whether you're looking to escape into the great outdoors or to relax with an aged winter cocktail, Box of Awesome has you covered. From outdoor gear to cooking tools to barware and even style, Box of Awesome has carefully built collections for every part of your life. I got a Damascus steel knife from the Forge Box, and it is one of the coolest knives I own. I may even learn to whittle now that I have the perfect knife to do so. To get started, take a quiz at boxofawesome.com, and your answers will help them pick out the best Box of Awesome for you. It's free to sign up, and you can skip a month or cancel anytime. Each box is only $45 and has a value of over $75, and you get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com and enter the code COMICS at checkout. That's boxofawesome.com, and make sure to use the code COMICS for 20% off of your first box. Dan's become the god of ads. It's not really a prestigious position, but it's really needed.
I'm the god of abs.
And now we close the portal. I'm the exact
I like the weird
opposite of
accent
Benny.
you're
I
doing.
try. I go very.
Yeah, you go quiet on it.
So anyway, Dan, thank you for opening that portal on our second advertiser.
You're welcome.
But I'm gonna open this one up with our chat. Enough Mold has said that it would be cool to see Carnage versus Batman Who Laughs.
Oh, that would be actually pretty cool.
Ooh.
Yeah. I could see that. But then the Batman who laughs would
my
get the Carnage
goodness.
symbiote.
But
The
actually,
Carnage
no.
all
All be screwed.
It wouldn't have to, or it couldn't be a direct them versus each other. It would be a them plotting against each other,
That's
and
what the book
whoever
would
would be create either a bigger infected army or a bigger Carnage symbiote
Although
army.
to be fair, Carnage isn't really known for his planning.
Yeah, it
He's
didn't
not-
go very well.
He's
did it?
not, but I'm
Yeah.
wondering which would overpower the other.
I see,
An
I got you.
infection
Yeah, yeah.
or the Carnage
Yeah, yeah.
symbiote, or if it would infect the Carnage symbiote to affect Carnage,
So then we get the Carnage who laughs.
an infected Carnage who laughs.
Okay, what about the Hand versus the League of Assassins? Who would top out on that one? The Hand always loses. They're always
they're always getting their ass kicked by Daredevil.
Only
I would
if
definitely go with the League of Assassins.
I would go with only the Hand if it's the one where they resurrected the Hulk. That would be the only
It's just
time
the
where
League
I
of
would
Assassins
say
is always superpowered assassins, whereas the Hand is always dudes in red pajamas.
He's not wrong.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
It's basically like the
With
foot
slippers.
soldiers of turtles.
Yeah, essentially, it's exactly what it is. Because one's called the foot, and one's called the hand. They're different appendages.
Is there an
It's literally the
Is
same.
there a group of ninjas for every appendage?
I
well,
would
we've got
assume.
the head. That's Ross.
There you go. What you don't know is the hand
Who's
and the
the
foot
torso of the
are
demon?
both alternate reality versions, or alternate reality appendages
Yeah.
of Ra's al Ghul.
What does Robin call his like elite squad when he was like a leader of a squad in the Assassins? It was referenced in Year of the Blood.
I don't know.
Oh, I know what you're talking
You know what I'm
about.
talking?
Yeah.
The shoulders of the demon. That's what we're gonna call them.
I like this one as a more recent thing of things
Head,
happening in comics.
shoulder, knees,
Null
and toes
versus
of the
Perpetua.
demon. Sorry.
But I'm pretty sure Perpetua would just straight up win, considering Perpetua grabs Starman, which was supposed to be like a uber powerful
Wait, hold
DC.
on. Perpetua versus who?
Null. I can see. And the reason I say that, hold on, because if you should have been tracking YouTube.
No,
but,
Perpetua would be way stronger.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
She literally
Starman.
exists in multiple universes at the same time.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Starman, who's like an uber powerful character in DC right now, she
Yeah.
literally just crushed him. So,
Yeah, I would say probably Perpetua.
yeah.
Now, if I were to go Perpetua versus
But I mean,
the Dark or the Dead Winter or Black Winter,
Black
whatever
Winter,
this new
yeah.
one is,
Well, we don't
that
know
would
if it's
be
a
a
physical
more.
being yet.
That's true.
Everything we've seen is it just overtaking.
Well, I mean,
That's
Galactus
true.
is nothing but a cloud.
Essentially, that's true.
Yeah.
Actually, it's
He got killed,
It's
though,
a
by
lot
the-
of what are there was like little robot in a cloud, like a nano cloud or something like that. God, that was a horrible movie.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus the Fantastic Four from Amert Guy in our chat.
Well, that would just be turtles. Much more interesting.
Interesting, yes. Fantastic Four.
No.
I feel
Raphael
like
would
Miss
jump
Invisible
in
would
there.
just turn him into or lift him up in a
They're
bubble.
ninjas. They're practically invisible.
Yeah, I don't
And
know
they'll
what
be
that-
even. That was the remote. We're
Oh,
good.
okay.
Which Ninja Turtles? We talking 90s or the new ones?
No, early comics where they were smart and deadly.
And deadly as hell. They were just stabbing dudes.
All right, I'll go with them. Actually, they'd probably eliminate the 4 before they could
That's
see
what I'm
anything
saying,
coming.
Yeah. Or are we talking like Return of the Ooze, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, where they weren't allowed to use their weapons?
That was horrible.
It had the Go Ninja rap.
You know what? I'm going to give you this one, Tevye, who anybody who knows on our chat, Tevye talks quite frequently. Superboy John Kent, because once again we got to specify.
Sure.
Versus X-23 Laura Kinney. Superboy John Kent
honestly, Laura Kinney.
she can't do anything to him.
Well, Laura Kinney can heal from pretty much anything, is also an assassin, and if she ever got the jump on Superboy and was able to cut his head off,
How would she cut his
don't
head
That's
off?
the thing,
He's
she
indestructible.
Adamantium.
But
He's indestructible.
yeah, he's Superboy.
Unless it's
Which version?
a kryptonite claws, which would be cool.
Actually,
Could you imagine
let's be
that?
honest. Of all people
She's
to dip
like,
their
I
claws
laced
in
it
liquid
with
kryptonite.
kryptonite. I have adamantium
See, if
kryptonite
anything-
claws.
All right, so
If anything, then it would be a never-ending battle.
no, it would. John Kent would eventually get mad, as we've seen him do, and he would just pummel her.
And throw her into the sun.
And then she would come
Not enough
back. Is
people
what
throw
I'm saying.
each other into the sun and
I feel like it would be a fight
I
that
know
would
you
end.
want X-23
no,
to
I
win.
feel like this would end in a way that the amalgamation of Superman versus the Hulk. The only way you can decide would be who can knock out the other one first.
Yeah, probably.
because it would always be one will always come back.
Yeah.
Every single time, one will always come back.
I mean, realistically,
Hell,
all
I
the
mein-
fights in Amalgam, nobody killed each other.
Yeah,
It
and
was
to be
whoever could
fair,
knock out the other person
even if
first.
she killed John, they would have the Krypton healing matrix.
So our
Bring
chat
him back
also
once
has,
again, because we've done that with Superman 18 times.
So I know what Andy's going to side with this, and I know what Dan's going to side with this.
Honey
But Geek
Badger.
in our chat is
I knew that it was going to be related to that.
Honey Badger versus Robin.
Oh, that'd be
But
Honey
wait,
Badger.
which Robin?
It'd probably still be
It'd
Honey
be
Badger, honestly.
Damien. I can see Damien come out of a way to do it.
I mean, he probably could.
Nightwing would try to talk her down.
Nightwing would try to talk her down.
Because she's
So would Tim.
And it would probably end up getting knocked out.
yeah.
she's not talent. She's Raptor, but with healing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's what I'm
Nightwing,
saying,
Nightwing
yeah.
and Tim would
Took
both be out. As
Nightwing
much as I
down.
love the two of them, they would try to talk her down. They wouldn't try
yeah.
to fight her.
Yeah, they wouldn't try
I'm
to
not
fight.
fighting a kid. That's kind of
yeah.
how they go. Damien and Jason.
Actually,
You could do
I
like
don't-
Jason when he got his ass kicked by Damien. He's like, I'm not going to beat up a 12-year-old.
I
Yeah, that's
think
what happened.
If it was Honey Badger and Damien, I don't think they would kill each
Probably
other.
end up being buddies.
Exactly. I think they would both just end up being friends and probably
See-
sparring partners.
See, that would actually probably be the amalgamation. It would be probably X-23
Honey
and
Robin.
Batwoman and Honey Badger and Robin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead
I like
of
it.
so it'd be like a female Dark Claw and a female Robin.
Okay,
that'd
I got
be
a
the
good
update
one.
to the amalgam.
I like it.
I got to go one, and I'm going to vote Red Hood. So Red Hood versus Daredevil.
Red Hood.
Yeah.
Red Hood easily.
Yeah. I think Daredevil would give him a good friend
What's
for his
the
money.
proximity?
Oh yeah, it'd be a good fight. Yeah.
What's their proximity to each other?
Well, okay. So the only
Because
reason
Red Hood
you
from a
can't hear
distance,
me if I
yes.
shoot you.
But Daredevil close up, I think he might be able to hold his own.
I think here's what I think the fight would go.
I mean, he's fought literally hordes of ninjas as well as people with guns
But
before.
so is Red Hood. Yeah. And we've already established
exactly.
a hand is weaker than the League of Assassins. So by proxy.
But to be fair, he's also defeated
Well,
other
hold on.
people than just
Here's
the
how I think
hand.
the fight would go for the sake of the argument.
Okay.
Daredevil would ultimately win the actual fist fight, but he wouldn't finish him.
Yeah, I could
and
see that.
Jason would take the shot and finish
could
off
see that.
Daredevil. That's what would end up happening.
And then
make
Batman
him-
would
and-
show up and punch him, and then Red Hood would be like, "You never hit Joker this hard."
So Red Hood would not, Jason would not only end up defeating Daredevil, he'd then make a blind as a bat pun.
No, he would probably go out of a like to make a statement. He would wear the Daredevil hood as his Red
my
Hood.
own new Red Hood. What are you seeing this thing?
Yeah.
All right, I got to go in. The chat came up with a good one. Enough Mold has Superior Spider-Man, so Otto Octavius,
Okay.
versus Nightfall Batman.
Auto.
Yeah, I'd probably
The
give it to Otto.
intelligence,
Yeah,
that would
he'd
give
plan
him
it
the-
out better. Yeah, probably.
Because let's be honest, Azrael kind of relies on
Technology and
his,
stuff,
technology
yeah.
and like consulting Bruce's head with spine and machine. I'm going with the Dark Multiverse version.
Jesus.
All right, and last one.
Oh, okay. I've
Deadpool
been enjoying
versus
this.
the entire DC universe.
Well, he's already killed one entire one entire universe.
That's true.
As well as
Who's writing him? That's the question.
Well, let's be honest. We learned in Killustrated that he can kill writers, so he would just go kill the writers of DC.
True, yeah.
I think I want to end this here.
That's how it would actually happen. Somehow Deadpool would be the reason the two universes met.
Deadpool and Gwenpool would get out somehow.
Wrong, yeah.
The Killustrated Deadpool would be back. And that's what he would do.
Yeah.
Okay, so this I think would be fun. We might tweet out this kind of a thing. We can just have debates for an entire episode.
Okay.
Because this could just, I think we could do this over an entire show.
Yeah, this is fun. And you can tell who's a DC fan and a Marvel fan when we do these competitions.
But even I can admit when certain characters would beat other characters.
I want to end this discussion, though, today with if we were to merge the MCU with the current state of the DCEU.
Maybe they would average out to a good movie.
Can Hugh Jackman play Dark Claw? Because that would be awesome.
Okay.
That would be awesome.
That would
be amazing.
So if they were to do DC versus Marvel, somehow the worlds aligned and WB and Disney agreed to this.
Well, first off, a portal would open.
We have no more ads.
I know, but this is where
into the two universes.
this is where the origination of the portal opening came from.
Yeah.
Was combining people.
Oh.
He's not wrong. In the very earliest episodes, way back in the days of Rob,
The days of
Robert.
that was this all started because of my joke. Like they would always come up with these elaborate ways how DC and Marvel characters would merge into each other.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And I would open up all of mine with, well, a portal opened and
they stepped through it.
And Rob's would always be, okay, so at Hogwarts,
that was his.
because for some reason they were all wizards.
it is.
I'm not even kidding.
They would
That
always
was
start
where he
with the
would go
Hogwarts, and I would always have a portal. And Dan would try to come up with this elaborate thing of like, well, the X-Men were created by a gene-inducing.
Mine was like an actual thing.
Just so we're clear, if we're doing fights, I also want to fan cast which actor would play better amalgam versions of the characters.
Okay.
like
Well,
it.
so DCEU is going to
Yeah.
meet with the MCU.
Yes.
Who would win? So Batfleck versus Chris Evans, Captain America.
Batfleck, not Battinson. Okay.
No, Battinson's not in yet. So
Okay.
we're going with
Yeah,
current
we're going
state.
current DCEU.
All right.
That's a toughie because Chris Evans, Captain America, is pretty solid.
Yeah.
He kicks
And
a
he's
lot
got
of
America's
ass. He does have America's ass. He kicks a lot of ass in Winter Soldier. But Batman murders people in the DCEU, so
He goes rolling and shooting
he
people.
drive his car right into him.
But then again, we've also seen how he dealt with tanks when that happened.
That is true.
And he does, I mean, technically he's got the Bat tank, but
Yeah.
I mean, Batfleck
tough.
fought and survived against Superman.
That is also true.
yes, but to
I'd probably
be
go
fair,
Batfleck, honestly.
let's be honest, Captain America would just have to show up and be like, Martha!
Bonks him with the shield.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's just how it would go.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Henry Cavill,
Yeah. It's going to be Henry Cavill.
Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man.
Oh, it's going to be Henry Cavill, 100%.
Why?
He would melt the suit onto him or
He
crush him.
snaps Zod's neck. You think a dude in a shell is going to stop
Okay.
him? You think an overgrown technological crustacean is going to deal with that?
Okay. Henry Cavill
sideways.
versus Mark Ruffalo Hulk pre-Endgame. So Age of Ultron.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah, actually, Henry Cavill. I'll give him that.
All right. They did nerf
I
Hulk
would have
recently.
said
Okay.
versus Thor probably would have been a better
Henry
fight.
Cavill Superman
Yeah.
versus Henry Cavill Geralt.
Yeah, The Witcher.
I'm just curious.
Henry Cavill Superman versus Henry Cavill Witcher.
We will-
Geralt
we
is
will
given enough
use-
prep time. He would find
Yes, I will say
some
this.
kryptonite
He
and
would
lace his
have
sword with
something
it.
like
Yes.
that, either magic
Yes.
or kryptonite.
Yes.
He does already have magic, doesn't he?
He has magic, yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah,
you just use that.
honestly, probably Geralt.
Probably Geralt.
Both played by Henry
I
Cavill.
would love that. I would love to see
You know
that.
what I'm noticing the trend of this MCU versus the DCEU?
It's all Henry Cavill.
No, most of the answers are the DCEU would win, but because they murder people in the DCEU.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Deadpool in the MCU.
Okay. Let's go with a completely outmatched power, do you think? Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot
Okay.
versus Captain Marvel, Brie Larson. I couldn't remember her name, but then I always think of the cheese.
Cheddar Larson.
See, I'm a big fan of Gal Gadot. Those
Yeah, can we just say
fighting
Gal
each
Gadot because
other-
I like her better?
Are we talking pre or post Endgame? All of these have to be pre or post Endgame because post Endgame Captain Marvel, okay, she kind of flew through a massive ship and took it down herself. Probably could hold her own against Wonder Woman,
Most
but
likely.
pre Endgame Wonder Woman hands down.
Okay, I'll give you that.
She did not have enough
Yeah,
training.
like the '90s version.
I mean,
Yeah,
they
well,
both
in the Captain Marvel movie. You
or
mean?
both
Yeah.
of them in 80s.
Yeah.
Wait, was it 80s?
It
or
was 90s in-
it was
in the
90s?
Captain Marvel
oh, okay,
movie.
my bad.
I was like, because we also
well,
have
then
the Disney-
definitely 80s
I think it was
Wonder
supposed to be
Woman.
like '94 or something like that.
we have
Wonder
the,
Woman just shows up at like a Captain Marvel before Captain Marvel. Just stayed
I went back in time and just punched her in the face like twice, and we were good.
I was like, because we have to discount her current God armor state that she's going to have in 84.
Exactly.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay. Suicide Squad versus the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Suicide Squad.
What?
I would actually probably say Suicide Squad because they would kill them.
But so would the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Actually, yeah, the Guardians
that's
would
true,
actually
actually.
fight
Guardians
back.
are willing to murder.
All right, I'd have to take
Well,
this.
how
on a-
still
I'd
is
have
Drax
to take this-
standing?
That's true. They wouldn't be able to see him. I'd have to take this on a character by character basis.
Yeah.
So Deadshot versus
Peter.
Yep,
Deadshot.
the two gunmen. Easy.
I would say Deadshot.
Hands down.
Easily, yeah.
Okay.
Harley versus Gamora, probably Gamora.
Gamora.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as much as Harley can fight, she's not fighting Gamora.
No,
She's not
no.
the deadliest woman in the galaxy.
Yeah.
So we'd have to go Drax versus
Captain Boomerang?
I was going to say
I would
Killer
Killer
Croc.
Croc.
Yeah,
Killer
Killer
Croc.
Croc.
Okay.
Probably
That makes
Drax.
more s-
Yeah, Drax.
He would hold still. Croc couldn't find him.
Exactly.
It's true.
It was-
Where is he?
and then if he couldn't pierce it, he would jump aside and kill the Croc.
So what's that leave? Captain Boomerang versus
Rocket?
Rocket.
Probably Rocket.
Actually,
So, okay,
no.
if
Wait.
it's
Hold
Deadshot
up. Hold up.
versus-
It would be Deadshot versus Rocket and Captain Boomerang versus Peter Quill.
Yeah, probably.
I think those
actually.
would be the
That would
more
actually make
accurate
Who would
sense,
Groot
yeah.
fight?
Groot would have to fight
Slipknot? We're going with the movie.
Katana.
man who could climb anything.
Diablo.
Actually, yeah, Katana would probably
No,
take
Diablo.
Gamora.
and
Katana
Diablo would
probably
win.
take on Gamora.
Oh, but would Katana win against Gamora? Because Katana's pretty well trained.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
It would
toughy.
all depend on whether or not she would actually hit Gamora.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
If
the sword.
Gamora
That's
can
true, yeah, yeah.
evade fully, she would win hands
Yeah.
down. But the second
So that
the
leaves
sword
Harley
steals the
versus
sword.
Groot.
That would, okay.
Honestly,
I
it
wanna
would
see
be
that.
Groot, or it would be them getting along because Harley would be the one that would go, but I can't kill you. Poison Ivy might have made you.
Exactly. Yeah,
She might break up with me. I can't handle that.
I like
just
how it
broke up
boiled-
with the Joker. I
So
can't
they're
do
the
it too.
Robin Jubilee of this fight. They're just
Yes.
going to hang out
They're
in the
like
back.
watching the whole time. He's like, "I am Groot." She's like, "Good point."
I know. No, she would actually be like, I am Harley Quinn.
That's exactly. I could see that. And they would have like a 2-minute scene of them just,
That would
I am
be.
Harley Quinn. I am Groot.
Yeah.
Okay. What other ones have they come out with so far? Shazam versus who? Who would Shazam match up with? Ant-Man?
I guess that would be Thor.
Okay.
Ant-Man.
Technically, I mean, just like in the
Well,
comics,
Ant-Man,
it'd be
he
Thor.
would just jump inside and expand.
He goes to Thanos argument.
Yeah.
No, it'd be Aquaman versus Ant-Man. Jesus Christ, Ant-Man just be running the whole time.
Like if it's just like, what was it? Hell yeah! Just chasing down.
He would like, Ant-Man would just run into the water and be like, I'm safe in here. And Aquaman would be like, hey, Plankton in the water.
I know, yeah.
Eat this little Ant-Man.
Chat saying that we should do Shazam versus Miss Marvel. I would say Shazam versus Thor because we did Miss Marvel with Wonder Woman.
Shazam versus Thor, I would
They're
honestly
both
say
magically
Thor.
based.
Thunder based.
I would say
They're both
Thor
thunder-based.
because I feel like
Wait.
he
Current
could
state, so Fat Thor.
I mean, he's still
but
pretty
still
powerful.
he's still worthy.
still pretty powerful,
I
yeah.
feel like Thor would redirect lightning kind of situation, or get in the way and prevent him from becoming Shazam by absorbing the lightning.
Well, which I
Tradition-
believe is what he does in the comics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Traditionally, Shazam has always lost his one-on-one fights because somebody stops him
Somebody
from saying
tricks him.
into saying Shazam.
Yeah. Either tricks him into saying Shazam so he comes back as Billy Batson.
Yeah. Or
And
they
then
prevent
stops
it.
him from saying it altogether.
Yeah.
Like they'll put their hand over his mouth or something
Yeah.
like that, or
That's how
give him
Superman
a
stops him in
lobotomy in
Kingdom Come.
Injustice.
Yep.
Yeah, or the lobotomy in Injustice. Yeah.
That and
was evil Superman, though.
or Wonder Woman. Technically, that was Black Adam, but lasso of truth. What is your magic word?
Who could face off against Black Panther? Do we have anyone? Because we're running low. Because DCU doesn't have as many movies
Yeah,
as
we're
MCU.
running out.
Honestly, I would say Batman would be the
It would
closest,
probably be closest, yeah.
person to fight.
Yeah.
You know what?
And in that situation, I hate to say it, probably Black Panther just because of vibranium
Technology.
and
Yeah.
technology.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go with the current movie, Birds of Prey versus Ant-Man.
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 He would, but not because he would do something right. Let's be honest. It would not be because he successfully fought them. He would do something that somehow triggered this chain reaction of luck just wiping them
Yeah.
out.
And then Harley wouldn't actually even be
funny.
in the fight.
No.
She'd be watching from a distance and be like, what the heck?
All right, so we got Deadpool's X-Force at the end of Deadpool 2
Okay.
versus...
be a
do we have any
Suicide.
more?
Cyborg
I guess
didn't
it
get a
would
movie
probably
yet.
be Suicide Squad. Yeah, it would make the most sense.
Well, the chat's reminding us that Cyborg is a thing in that universe.
He doesn't really have anybody good to fight against is the problem.
No, not movie-wise.
Yeah.
Chat's saying that he
No,
would be good
just
against Iron Man or
randomly.
War Machine.
Just randomly, we'll make it Wesley Snipes Blade versus Cyborg.
Hell yeah, why not?
Why not?
We're doing that?
We'll give him
Okay,
some
so
showtime.
2000.
Who is Flash fighting? I would say Quicksilver, but that dude dead.
I do dead.
There's two versions because we also have the X-Men universe version of Quicksilver that is
Let's
alive.
not talk about that universe. It's dead to us. Except Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.
When he becomes Darkclaw.
Yes.
No, you made me lose your train of thought. Okay, what about 2004 Fantastic Four versus Fans Four Stick?
No one. No one
Nobody
wins.
wins in that fight. No fans, not the actors, directors, writers.
Anyone
Nobody
involved.
wins in that movie.
Okay, 2000 X-Men versus First Class X-Men.
Probably 2000 X-Men.
Yeah.
They seemed a little.
mean-
they seemed a little bit deadlier.
Did you see what Jean Grey did?
Oh yeah, she did a lot of things.
She
back
kind of popped
People,
Xavier.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
then. I'm gonna end this last one. Ready?
Okay.
Last one, so we can close out the episode. David Hasselhoff, Nick Fury
With you,
versus the entire MCU right now.
David Hasselhoff.
The Hoff.
The Hoff
The Hoff,
himself,
you can't-
easily.
That movie was just probably one of the best Marvel movies I've ever seen. Especially with the cigar.
80s Spider-Man TV star.
Versus Adam West Batman.
Adam West Batman.
Japanese Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. The emissary of hell.
You got to do a what happened to Japanese Spider-Man. You need to.
I'll tell you what happened. He became the emissary of hell.
Versus Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Emissary of hell. He's got a mech.
Okay, Emissary of Hell Spider-Man versus Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
Once again, we have a mech.
Okay,
Tobey Maguire when he's possessed by the Venom symbiote.
Ooh, yeah. And they get into
They
a
still
dance
have
No
off.
one else.
mech.
Just him.
And they get into a dance off.
They have a mech.
But would Venom combine
Actually,
with
that's
it
how we-
like in Venom?
We could have had Spider-Man versus Cyborg.
Yes.
That would've worked,
How
yeah.
did we forget all about Spider-Man?
I
Let's-
just
see,
realized we did not talk
In
about
that
Tom Holland at all.
situation, I would fully say Spider-Man because he would probably fill all the joints in Cyborg with
he
webbing.
would.
It'd
Probably-
be like
honestly,
concrete
probably-
webbing.
Probably Spider-Man.
Last real one. Tom Holland Spider-Man
Yeah,
versus Tom Holland Night Monkey.
I thought you said real one. I'd go Night Monkey.
That's a hard
It's a
one.
toughie.
I mean, they're never in the same place at the same time, though.
Yeah,
so
it's
I don't
really
know
hard
if
to
they
fight.
could fight each
yeah.
other.
All right, guys. Thank you for enjoying. All right, I hope you did.
I
Thank you for
enjoyed it.
watching. We had a lot of laughter in this one, a lot of fun. This is probably one of my favorite episodes we've done in a while.
Yeah, definitely.
Let us know in the comments down below other verses you want us to discuss in a follow-up episode. We'll probably do it in 2 weeks or so. That way we can have a little time to get some good ones.
Yeah.
Get some
I
thought
won't be here
process
in
on
2
it.
weeks.
Okay, well, we'll wait for Andy to get back. He's going on a trip. I forgot about that.
And is going on vacation.
Yeah, he gets a vacation once in a while, and we won't be on the air that week at all.
Because when I'm gone, what's the point?
Dan and I tried it alone. I'm boring, and then Dan gets more boring because I'm boring. It's just not fun with the two of us.
It's
Yeah.
true. I'm awesome.
Yeah.
Awkward silence. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining us for today's episode. Don't forget it's aired live every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/Comicstorian. You can also find us here on Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern with the Mystery Cast, where these two and Gary talk about conspiracies, urban myths, and all kinds of fun stuff.
We talked about flying snakes with human flesh
bring 'em up.
melting.
Don't bring it up.
venom.
Don't bring it up.
I just got a teaser.
And you can also find that over on our channel, Tales of Earth. You can also find the two of them reviewing comic books immediately afterwards. Long story short, the reason why I'm not on it is I read very particular ones so I can plan out the scripts. They read everything.
It's awful.
And then Dan and I sit around here and talk about the CW shows and whatever show Dan decided to watch that week that makes no sense, but he wants to talk about it, so he does.
Usually they're like 12 years old too,
I
but
know.
I'm like, I saw this new show, and they're like,
Called Full House!
really old.
of Dawson's Creek?
Anyway, guys, and don't forget on Tuesdays at about 5 p.m. Eastern, me and Sal do Absolute Comics. And if you're here watching us live, we do a beer show after this one, so stick around. Don't forget to check out our sponsors today. Who are they, Dan?
They are Honey, where you can get honey for free at joinhoney.com/RNBE, or you can get 20% off your first monthly box with Bespoke Post at boxofawesome.com and use the code COMICS at checkout. Didn't even have to look at anything.
I'm proud of you.
Sponsored. No? Oh yeah, you finish. You finish this now.
And don't forget, you can get unedited version of this, and this show exists entirely because of our sponsors and our Patreons. And thank you so much, Patreons and Twitch subs. It's because of you guys that the show keeps going even when we don't have sponsors. Don't forget to check us out at patreon.com/comicstorian. This was at twitch.tv/comicstorian. And I'll see you, and all you YouTube watchers, we'll see you next week right here. Stay classy, San Diego.